At the Agbogboshi market in Accra, traders sort through heaps of rotten onion stock to salvage the good ones to sell. Ghana imports about 70% of its onion from Niger and has been experiencing shortages since the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, closed the borders around Niger following the July 26th coup that ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. Mahmoudou Al-Haldo is an onion trader and says the regional security challenges are disrupting the food supply chain, raising prices.
Before, when they take the onion from Niger, they can pass Burkina to Ghana. But because of jihadists, jihadists, there are many there. They are attacking the cars. So later, they are returning to Benin and enter Togo and come to Ghana. So about a few days ago, when the coup happened in Niger, and the Benin people too, they closed their borders.
A 2022 report by the Global Network Against Food Crisis placed about 41 million people in West Africa and the Sahel region at risk of experiencing an acute food crisis or worse. Ziad Hamwi is a co-chair of the Food Trade Coalition for Africa. He says ECOWAS' decision to place border sanctions on Niger threatens the entire region's food security.
There's a lot of food across the region. The problem is not with growing the food. The problem is with moving the food from the areas of production to the areas of consumption.
Hamwi calls on the regional bloc to prioritize food security in their approach to the Niger coup.
We have to start by examining the deficiencies in our regional agriculture value chains and to look at what really the problems are, to address these problems and to avoid the scenarios happening over and over again because of this nexus between security and economics and politics.
Our next story is about the crisis in Niger and how Tinubu Bolai has single-handedly been championing the crusade of invading Niger. When you hear this from an African saying that they would invade Niger and they will make sure that the deposed leader, who they believe was an elected leader of the people, must be reinstated, what comes to your mind? Because I believe that in every situation, the people should come first. But when you look at the way politics is being done, not just only in Africa, it's all over the world, you realize that it has nothing to do with the people, or it has far more lesser impact to do with the people than what the leaders want from them for themselves. The leaders are just out there doing what benefits them more than what actually benefits the people. And that is why you will see a person like Tinubu Bola Ahmed saying that they must intervene militarily in Niger and they must reinstate the deposed leader, Mohamed Bazoum. Why? Why should they do that? We shouldn't only look at this problem from the coup. No, that is a very shallow way of looking at this problem. We must dig deeper. We must understand the root causes of this coup in Niger. Why did this coup came to be? And why is the coup getting a lot of support from the people? And why is Niger, with all its resources, still considered as one of the poorest countries in West Africa? Why? So all these questions must be answered, or answers must be provided to all these questions before we can even begin to think of whether or not the coup is justified. Nigerians are suffering, and the economic sanctions that have been put in place by ECOWAS is not helping matters. Things are getting worse in Niger, and ECOWAS will come out and say they did that for the people. Really? Remember, sanctions do not affect the leaders, right? they affect the people, because no matter how things get expensive, the leaders will afford it. The leaders will still buy it. The leaders will import it from abroad. The leaders will send private jets to carry whatever they want to eat and bring into the country. The only ones who will suffer the most are the commoners, are the masses. They get to suffer so much. So ECOWAS is putting itself in a very dangerous situation, and ECOWAS should tread carefully, because they have already sidelined, I think, 3 or 4 of their members: Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, and now Niger. ECOWAS is beginning to lose importance. People are beginning to see that ECOWAS, that is supposed to be an organization that caters for Africans, has become a Western puppet. That France and the West have turned ECOWAS into their puppet, and Tinubu is just following along. No one understands why. Military intervention in Niger is going to be very, very devastating, not just for Niger, but for the bloc itself, because things would spin out of control very, very quickly, that it will be very difficult to normalize it. I don't know if people have forgotten the case of Libya, but anyone who have forgotten that must go back to the history books and start learning. Libya is a master example for all of us to learn from. Military intervention never helps in any situation. It doesn't help. Dialogue and diplomacy is always the best way to go. But you guys out there, what do you think might be Tinubu Bola Ahmed's interest in the issue in Niger? Why is he so pushing for this whole military intervention in Niger? Does he have something to gain from it? Does he? And let's say, for example, ECOWAS intervened in Niger militarily, and they managed to depose the coup leaders. What happens to Niger? Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of goodwill, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.